morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Happy 4th of July. My apologies for the podcast being late. I'm going to get one out for you today, actually, just because it's summer break, man. And I'll go ahead and post this one as soon as possible. As soon as it gets uploaded, I'll go ahead and post it. But how are you doing? My apologies. I am a disheveled mess for those watching on YouTube. I just got back from walking the dogs. It is already 90 degrees. So I'm a fat, disheveled, slobby mess. But other than that, I think you already know that. Let's go ahead and dive into today's topic, the stereotypical carbro. And there's a reason I'm bringing this up. I'll give you a little backstory. But I want you to ask yourself, are you the carbro? Are you the one that just oozes the disgusting stench of like the brand lifestyle as opposed to actually what the passion of these engineers and these motorsport enthusiasts truly are for these cars? Now, not to say that, you know, being a brand ambassador and the lifestyle is necessarily bad, and I'll give you some props later on in the podcast for this type of movement, but ultimately I think we're doing a disservice to a lot of the car community for a variety of reasons that I'm going to spell out in today's podcast. So the car bro, let me tell you what made me bring up this topic. I went to, if you haven't checked out Escondido Cars and Coffee, the German Car Week, I had a phenomenal time there, and I got to see the amazing Porsches and Audis and the BMWs, especially the G87 M2. Oh my goodness. Truly in person, I think that thing looks amazing. Now, don't get me wrong, the old school M2 CS is honestly probably one of the best M2s. But dude, if you gave me this new one, I adore it. I love it. I love the way it looks. I don't know why so much hate is on it, but I had a great time at German Car Week. But there's a problem, and it wasn't as evident here as maybe I'll let you know in some of the other places I've noticed it too. But you definitely noticed, and this is maybe with German car owners or car people, that there's an airiness of douche when attending a German car meet, and definitely I noticed some people were perhaps looking at me, judging what I'm doing as like, who the F is this guy, right? And what did he drive? What did he bring? How much money does, you know, I got those vibes, if you will. And you know, for the most part, I'm comfortable in myself to go ahead and ignore that. But you definitely got that sense there. And this is at Escondido Cars and Coffee. This is one of like the friendliest, most chill cars and coffees out here in SoCal. So I got that. And then there was a moment, and for those in Temecula car community, you know, nothing against you guys. I freaking love you guys too. And at one of the Taco Tuesdays, there was a, you know, and perhaps he's listening, I don't know. But there was a guy in a I think it was a silver M4, you know, a nice F80 F80. I don't know the generation. I know it was an F generation though, and he's backing up, and 1000% he revs it, and one of the gentlemen from TCC, like, you know, goes up to him and tells him like, hey man, you know, you can't be doing that. You can't be revving. You know, like, you know, we're trying to keep this chill. We're trying to keep our spot, blah, blah. You know, all the appropriate right things you're supposed to do, especially as an organizer. And this guy doesn't even give him the common courtesy to look at him as he's, you know, I don't want to say reprimanding him, but just at least reminding him like, dude, you're going to burn out the spot. You're going to burn out this opportunity for us to be here. You know, stop being an idiot and or try to be a show off at the very least, because, hey, who doesn't love to rev it? And this guy, I would say he's no more than 25, 30 years old, max. Like, he shouldn't be able to even afford this freaking car, dude. Doesn't even give him the courtesy of acknowledging that he's doing something wrong. and just like goes out, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, and it's just like, it's such a bad freaking look, man. And lastly, on my recommended videos, I'm not gonna give you this YouTuber's name, but I guess they went to an OC Cars and Coffee, a big group of them, several cars, and you can tell that he was in part of a group where somebody decided to rev it, a Beamer, so it's gonna have all the pops and crackles when it's done. And I've heard, I've never been, and it's definitely out of my territory. I've never been to OC Cars and Coffee, right, in the little outlets, shopping center. I heard that I would have a phenomenal time. Like, it'd be a 45-minute video. But that's just not my territory. That's not what me and Your Right and I is all about. I'm more about the Inland Empire and reasonable car builds and car people. But apparently at this, they're very, very strict over there. And this kid literally can't be more than, again, 20 to 25 years old in a freaking Beamer. And I think he had a stock Beamer too. But he was part of a group. He was part of a group with some of the douchebag a-holes that ruined it for everyone. And South OC, even the freaking guy that organizes the meet, the main guy, was like, dude, I'm asking you to leave. And this kid, what did I do? I didn't do anything. This is my car. This is my car stock. And, the people that are already gone, they already left. Yeah, but when the freaking organizer's asking you to leave, when the Paul Blart Mall cop, that's so messed up, man. When the mall security, as bad of a stereotype as they have, when they're asking you to leave, when all the volunteers are asking you to leave, your friends and you to just leave, why do you sit there and continue to argue and continue to deny that you're part of the group, you're part of the problem, and all his friends and all his homies are just there, just like, like, oh my God. I was disgusted, seriously, watching this. And maybe I'm giving you old man vibes or whatever. It was like, you know what? I'll take my old man vibes. I'll take my slow money and take my slow problems, because there's or no problems, I should say. You'll see what I'm going to talk about in a moment. But yeah, I'd rather be that guy than to be associated with you and all your friends and all that stuff for content, bro. And of course, did he leave? No, he snuck back up. And they even had like the sheriffs out there, like Orange County Sheriff's Department, wasting their time and their resources, trying to threaten you with trespassing and all that stuff. It's just like, leave, bro. Stop being that car bro guy, dude. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. That's what kind of brought it up. A little bit of everything. And so let's dive right into it. A car bro. How do you know if you're one? Okay? How do you know if you define yourself as a car bro? And how can you get out of this cycle? So I made my list. Here we go. So, car bros, they care more about the lifestyle of what the car represents, particularly Beamer guys and their M logo and their M badge and their M life and all this like that comes into it. They got to be the fastest. They got to be the most suave. They have the Balenciaga slides and all that shit. It is just like, there's $600 Jordans and stuff like that. Like they have to represent not only that their car look good, but they look good, and they have, they just project, an image of just like broiness, success, hard life, or fast life, all that. And it's just, perhaps you maybe take yourself and your image too seriously. There's nothing wrong with looking good. Trust me, when I was a lot skinnier, I liked to, put on nice clothes and try to look the part, right? But I'll tell you a story about that. But you in itself, when you come off as narcissistic and arrogant, especially when it comes to your car and your ride, it just oozes car bro. when you know everything about your BMW, but you can't appreciate a Datsun 280Z, right? And you can't tell the difference between a coilover and a spring. It's like that's where you're definitely breaching into carbro territory. This is what I want to talk about. You're more than likely a 30K milli, okay? You get all your clothes off Nordstrom racks, and you get some nice designer stuff that maybe fits well on you and you look good in it, but you got that fast money, right? Perhaps, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but you have that fast money, and that fast money is going to come with slow problems, because by the time you hit 30, 40, or even into your 50s, you have nothing in retirement. You're still living at home, or you're living in a crappy apartment. You have nothing in your bank account. You have your crappy cars that are already blowing up. Your rod bearings are gone. Your crank hub is gone. You have nothing but all these problems. What do you have to show for? What? Maybe a hot girlfriend from 20 years ago? Because there's a bunch of other hot women now, and your girlfriend looks like trash. Okay. So, when I was, again, skinnier and good looking, that's exactly what I would do. I would try to project the image that I was more successful than what I really was. I never really humbled myself, and I never was that warrior poet that kept his head down and kept working. And this was when I was living in LA at the time, and perhaps that has a lot to do with geographical location and the way you're raised. But it's kind of like, you know what? Why are you fronting? Why are you looking like something that you're totally not? And so that's why I call them 30K millis, because they work a 9 to 5, but they drive a $100,000 sports car, and they spend $6,000 on wheels and $900 on Jordan shoes. And then they think that they're privileged and entitled to go to these car meets, or to talk back to an organizer, or especially in my community, in the Inland Empire, in our car community, try to act douchey to some hardworking, nice, respectable people out here. That's what pisses me off, and that's what made me kind of bring up this podcast again. The car broiness of it. Quit acting like you got money when you're still living at home with mommy that's making you dinner and packing your lunch. Give me a break. Get on my level. You understand? So, argumentative. Again, I remember this from Jersey Shore. Again, the ultimate douchebagginess, right? Deny, right? I'm just going to deny that I ever, slept with that girl or made out with that girl. That was what between Ronnie and the soccer player girl, the pretty girl. I thought she was the prettiest one. Sammy Sweetheart, right? Deny. And so these guys are just looking for an argument. Perhaps they're looking for content. Perhaps they're showing off to their friends. But again, they will never admit that they are wrong. And maybe that's the reason why I'm still single. But hey, I'll gladly keep my money. I'll keep my 3,600 square foot home. I'll keep all my cars. Because why? I understand my place. I know my place. And I don't argue with people that are more well-connected and more higher value than me, okay? Or than I am. And so these kids, or these car bros, or these douchebags are going to continue to think that they are entitled or privileged to something that they're not. Even when let's say like the South OC cars thing. You weren't part of the problem, but you're still part of the group. And you're still lying and denying that because... Why? Because you need content, or because you want to show off to your friends? He's asking you to leave. The literal organizer of South OC Cars and Coffee is asking you to leave. Just leave, bro. Just do it. Come back another day. Don't be disrespectful to... It's not just about you, and it's not about just you and your car group. It's about the other people there that truly do respect the rules, bring out their rides, and the stuff that they've worked hard for. Granted, a bunch of douchebag OC people live. I'm not sticking up for all them and the old money types, but let's just say that in general, there's so many hardworking, respectable people there, and then your group is gonna ruin it for everybody, and you're just gonna deny that. Give me a break, man. Like, you just need to grow up at that point. Like, you're worse than one of my students. Like, I didn't do it. I literally saw you do it, and you're gonna continue to sit there in front of my face and lie to me and deny. Like, I literally saw you. You're no different than a freaking second grader. Okay. Give me a break, all right? And again, going back to that at TCC and Escondido, just that airiness of arrogance and the fact that you think you're better than the other people that are there. There's nothing wrong with the guy that brought his very clean example of an RSX Type S. There's nothing wrong with the beater 240SX that was parked a couple of spots over, but you feel that you're better than those people. Get out. Like, you need to get out of the car community. Now I'm going to talk about that coming up. And lastly, your knowledge base. I'll give it up to some of these car bros. They do actually understand and know the parts of their car that make it go fast, right? Like they are somehow connected, or they know the right group of people where they do start to learn about their car more than some other people, but it's very surface level, and it ruins a lot of people that actually know about cars or have serviced cars, who have been in the trenches, been in the garage. You'll see the fact that they are probably doing more harm than they are good. They are literally ruining the performance or the essence of the car more than than what they should be doing. It's kind of like making this is the problem I have. I see a lot of people with an S2000 and they build it for like stoplight racing. Like, this car is meant to be, its ethos has always been meant to be a driver's car. Why are you street light racing these S2000s, right? And so they'll take their Beamers, which is obviously a wonderful platform, or they'll take their German cars and they'll just, hop it up to the brim with freeway runs, or stoplight racing, when it's just like you have an M3 CSL, like, why M4 CSL? Why on earth would you want to ruin that car with some of your nonsensical ideas of it? And it's because they want power, they want clout, they want to be able to be the fast boy in town. And to me, it's just like, dude, I would not trade a single ounce for the S2000 to ruin that car for what it's not meant to be, a canyon carver, a track, autocross, fun driver's car. I would never do that. And I would never do that to an M3 CSL, just make it a freeway runner. Like, that car deserves to be at Chuckwalla every other day, And the fact that these car bros, they'll be the first one when their cars are having problems and all that stuff. They'll be the first one to post it on OfferUp. Never been raced, grandma driven. It's just, I still see that stuff and it just cracks me up. So, you've identified as a car bro, all right? How do you solve this? All right. So, this is from what I've thought about. We are a car community, right? Especially down here in Inland Empire, in my area. Like, we need to either show them love, right? Which is what I do with even my students. We show them love, we show them support, and we guide them, positive reinforcement. We guide them to what we want them to become, or we ostracize them, which is what I would hate to do in my classroom. But we also need to cut out the fat when we can, okay? We need to ostracize these guys, we need to shame them, and we need to get them out. And we need to keep far away from them and keep them from influencing more of the negative stereotypes of the community, because these are the same guys that will because they want to be the fast boys, they want to start building their cred, right, and their reputation. So these guys are going to be the ones going to the takeovers. These guys are going to be the ones doing the freeway pulls in the middle of daylight traffic. These guys are going to be the ones that are going to be killing your brothers and sisters when they screw up and get in an accident. So you either need to show them love, or we need to ostracize, cut them off, cut the fat or burn it off, right? And so we need to be asking ourselves as well, how can we be better? And we need to stop, again, I mentioned this earlier, we need to stop that surface level thinking. We are automotive enthusiasts. Therefore, we need to envelop ourselves into knowing what the car is, the car history, the car brand, the ethos of the car, the engineering. That's what I think a lot of us need to envelop ourselves with as true automotive enthusiasts. Now, I'm not asking you to be the next Doug DeMuro or Savage Geese. No, but you should know the facets of your car and what your car is good at, what it's not good at, and ultimately what made you fall in love with the car, and how do you use your car appropriately. And if someone asks me to leave an event, just shut up and leave an event, okay? If Justin from Local Car Scene said, hey man, you've been causing nothing but problems, or your group is causing nothing but problems, I'm asking you to leave, I will say, I'll speak my piece and leave. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you have to make things a bigger deal than what they need to be? Okay? And that's the problem. Leave the drama, leave the BS for the bitches, right? I hate to use that word. I needed to say that. I have it written down, so I wanted to say, leave that stuff for your girlfriend, okay? Don't bring that stuff into our car community, because at the end of the day, it's making all of us look bad, okay? And that's where, if and thankfully, knock on wood, it's not a problem out here in Temecula, Menifee, Murrieta. It's not an issue out here, but I think it's a lot of issue in our sister cities, in our bigger cities, in the LA, East LA area, all that. And so, you know what? Keep it there. That's why my territory doesn't go anything past Ontario Rancho Kooks. Okay? Because as soon as you get some of those LA folks, that's where all the ratchet nonsense happens. And you know what? I don't want to be a part of that. I'm too old. I'm too fat. I don't make enough LA money out there, right? I'm a 30K milli to them. So, okay. All right. I believe you. I believe you with your home that's worth $750,000. But, all right. Leave it out. Leave that stuff out there. Okay? Leave the BS for the bitches. And lastly, this is a big one too, because I use this for my students as well. How are you representing yourself? How are you representing your family? And at the end of the day, I know there's so many broken homes. I work with so many children that come from broken homes. And that's probably why I prefer children than adults. But at the end, that sounded kind of creepy. No, I prefer working with children than adults and people, because people suck. And, I always tell them, like, what would your mom think? What would your dad think? And are you representing yourself as a good human being? Because for me, I guess as an educator, I can tell a child that you're acting the wrong way where you look foolish. But you try to tell that to an adult, and then they take it personal and they get defensive. Well, then there's no room for growth there, is there? Right? That's why I prefer teaching and working with children. But, especially in like, I used to work in the restaurant industry. You go into a night, it's a Friday night service, and doors open at 5, and we're like, we get together, we already had our family meal, and we're like, you're going to work hard, you're going to do this for yourself, you're going to do this for your family. And I think that that's so important, that we never forget that we are a representation of our mothers and fathers and what our family name and value is worth. And are you going to tarnish that because you wanted to be that Carbro D-bag? Go ahead, I guess, be my guess. But again, we come from broken homes. A lot of us come from broken homes because a lot of us came from nothing. I came from the poorest county in California with nothing. okay, and I got to where I got, and I don't want to lose it, and I don't want to tarnish my name in losing it. But if you're going to be a spoiled little brat who's going to inherit a multi-million-dollar home in LA, or has family money that's not even yours because you never worked a day in a life for it, or you got it through fast money means, hey, I hope all those slow problems come to you. Good luck. I'll see you in 20 years. What do you guys think? Am I just being an asshole? There's my rant. Roast me all you want. I could care less at the end of the day. But let me know what you guys think. Are you the car bro? Have a wonderful 4th of July. Stay positive. Don't be that car bro. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay driven, stay positive, and keep driving your mind. I'll catch you on the next one next week.